All right, folks. So I wanted to share some final thoughts for this review on this CEENR, CEENR, the PD Nation 18 volt, 20-volt max battery, lithium ion battery. Now, the reason I wanted to share some final thoughts as opposed to just writing a quick paragraph is because I wanted to speak to DIYers and professional tools people like myself, right? When I say professional tools people, people like myself who admittedly buy tools, say, and please don't take this the wrong way, say some women are into shoes, for instance, where you see one and you buy it. So I'm not necessarily that way, but I believe in having the right tool for every job. I believe in having the right storage for my tools. Um, I didn't start out that way, but I became a Milwaukee fan over the years, and so I've invested thousands of dollars in Milwaukee tools and in storage. Right, the pack out system. I remember I did a plumbing job with PEX one time in my basement, and I needed to spread the PEX. And rather than use a manual tool and struggle with it, I spent 400 something dollars on a Milwaukee tool that I haven't used since. Right, but it's a fantastic tool to have if you're ever stuck in that position and need to get the job done. This CEENR, I'm going to pronounce it CEENR, CENR battery, I think, and I'm surprised I never heard of them before because they have other batteries. I think this is a ingenious device. And I'll tell you what, from my perspective, because different people have different goals and therefore different people might look at it differently. For me, I have DeWalt cordless tools. I have all corded tools too. So let's understand that the investment in tools is both corded and cordless in some cases of the same tool, right? Like a reciprocating, like a Sawzall um, corded and a Sawzall cordless. Circular saws corded, circular saws cordless, right? Depending on where you're working and you need to have power, a cordless tool. With my cordless tools, I have mostly Milwaukee, but I have quite a few Craftsman. I have a few Works. I have Bosch. I have DeWalt. And I have one that I have to check these people's site to see if they have an adapter for, and that's Greenworks. Now, those are, I have those in the Milwaukee is in 12 volts and 18 volts. This is 18 to 20, so this works just fine. Milwaukee 18-volt batteries are expensive. And then you need the charger. Now you can have one charger, that's cool. But I've been in many situations where I didn't have access to my charger for some reason. Or I'm outdoors working on something and I have one battery for my DeWalt. My DeWalt is, I'm in that scenario. I have one 20-volt battery and it died, and so I had to stop using that tool. I didn't invest more in, forgive my audio, I have a lot of phones around me. I didn't invest more in um, the DeWalt 20-volt batteries because I'm into Milwaukee, right? And they're expensive. So when this came about and I saw it and I launched, I lunged, I should say, at the opportunity to review it. I have to tell you that once I got to it, charged it up, and started using it, I don't think I've every weekend I've been working on projects. And I have some major projects I'm working on, building gyms, building a loft. This has stayed in my pack out tray, my Milwaukee pack out tray with the rest of my Milwaukee tools and other tools. And I'll tell you why. Although I have mostly 12-volt Milwaukee tools, I wanted the impact driver from Milwaukee, the M18, because I wanted that more power. I wanted there's a stapler that we use for certain jobs. I wanted there's a few things. I also have a Works tool that's in the review that you can see in the review, and that I only have one battery for at this time. So being able to put the adapter for the CEENR on each tool and just snap the battery from one tool to the other, not worrying about which battery you're picking up on and whether you have the right the M12 or the M20. That's fantastic, number one. Number two, being able to use one universal battery for all of my other non Milwaukee 20-volt tools, as well as the Milwaukee 20-volt tool, is fantastic. Think about the amount of money. These batteries, and this is a high capacity battery. I mean, these batteries go, $100 and something dollars, something like for each battery. So when you can move from one manufacturer, from one brand to the other, and just keep going, if you have sometimes you have a specific tool that you like from one manufacturer. Even though I'm a Milwaukee guy, there may be another tool like the Greenworks I talked about. It's not mentioned in the major brands on their website, but they have an amazing cordless circular saw that I use all the time. Right? That's what I'm saying. I hope I can find an adapter for this battery. So I can tell you, I mean, it's amazing. And then to put the icing on the cake, it charges USB-C. So think about it for a second. If I talk about 4 or 5 brands and I'm outdoors and I feel that I may leave one task and go to the other while I recharge a battery, I have to have all those different chargers with me. This you plug into USB-C, right? I'm assuming, I haven't tried yet, but even your phone charger probably will give it. It might not charge as fast, but your phone charger probably charges this thing. And if you have 4 or 5 of these, as opposed to investing in $100 something batteries each, plus the charger, if you don't have the charger, like I don't have a Milwaukee M18 charger. With this, I don't need one. USB-C, and I was able to buy the tool only. As a matter of fact, since I got this to review, I think I bought my first 3 Milwaukee M18 tools. I've got a bunch of chargers and a bunch of M12 batteries, but now I've got one battery. I can run the Works, I can run my Craftsman 20 volt, I can run the Milwaukee 20 volt, and it has enough capacity. It has an easy USB-C universal charge, which everybody with a cell phone these days has that connection, has that cable. So for me personally, and your application may differ, I want to make sure that when I qualify and say I think this is a fantastic device, I let you know my use for it and why I will be looking at investing in more of these. I think it's a great job. Those are my final thoughts. Until the next time, make sure you read the entire review.